So tomorrow night we're having a small little dinner party. It's just close friends that we haven't seen in a while. And so I wanted to do something a little bit more elegant than the traditional layer cake for dessert all the time. I wanted to go plated dessert. So today I'm going to make this cranberry apple walnut strudel that is going to be served warm with a custard creme anglaise sauce. So it's a little bit more of an elegant presentation for a dessert. And so I'm really excited to make that because I haven't made this in a really long time. This recipe goes back, oh man, like almost 2 decades, actually over 2 decades. When I had my first job out of culinary school, I worked for a pretty big catering company in Princeton. This place serviced the whole Princeton area, giant, beautiful, elegant catering parties, and sometimes for like hundreds of people. And I remember one of the first things that they showed me how to make was this cranberry apple walnut strudel. So I've got a few apples. I like to use Granny Smith's for baking. I've just always been kind of partial to that. But you can use any baking apple that you love the most. The really cool thing about a recipe like this is that you can adjust the sugar and the spices and even the add-ons. Like if you don't like cranberries, you can absolutely leave them out. If you want to do a mixture of pear and apple, by all means, switch up the nuts or don't put any nuts in at all. Like this is a really versatile recipe that you can really just sort of make it your own. So like I said, I'm using walnuts, but you could leave out the nuts if you're not interested in having nuts in your strudel. You can change it to pecans, really anything that you like. I always like to put a little bit of lemon juice in my apple pie and strudel. Not only does it help the apples from turning brown, but it really brightens up all of the flavors that are in this recipe. Again, adjust the sugar accordingly to your taste and to how sweet your apples are. Granny Smiths are typically the most tart apple that you can buy, so I'm putting in about 4 tablespoons of vanilla sugar. Along with some of my apple pie spices. It's just a little bit of nutmeg, some ginger, and cinnamon. The cornstarch is going to help sort of bind it all together so you don't have a big soggy, soupy strudel. Just go ahead and toss all of that together. And I have to go get my cranberries out of the freezer. So I'll be honest, the success of a strudel like this one really depends on what this phyllo dough looks like once we open it up. I can't tell you how many duds I've had over the years. If any of you have ever worked with phyllo dough, you know it's pretty hit or miss, but this Athens brand is a pretty reputable brand that I've used a lot in the past. Most packs of phyllo dough come with 2 rolls, 8 ounces each. They're typically 1-pound boxes. So, and they're sold frozen. So I've had this thawing out in my refrigerator overnight. Let's see. Ooh, this looks like it's gonna be nice. Sometimes you'll unroll a pack of this phyllo dough and it's just all cracked and broken. It's just a literal mess. It's so disappointing, but this one actually looks really beautiful. As you see, I have a towel here. That's gonna help us with the rolling. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't made a strudel in literally years, so this is jogging my memory on how to actually do this. So let's see, I've got my 3 pieces. You're not trying to soak it, you just want to do a little bit of a brushing. Ooh, here we go already, breaking apart. This is mostly just so that each layer, because we're going to keep layering this until the whole entire roll is gone, and the butter is what's going to help it stick everything together. So I don't know how many people left already in the beginning of this video when I said I'm not making a real deal strudel dough. But honestly, guys, like sometimes we just have to make our lives a little bit easier. And there's really great substitutions like this phyllo dough that makes it all possible for us to still have a really awesome and close to authentic apple strudel with literally half the work. All right, so you see I went 1, 2, 3 on the bottom layer. Now I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4 on the next, and then we're going to go 3 again and then 4 again. I may be doing about a tablespoon of cinnamon sugar for each layer. And again, you can adjust that as you see fit. The more important part is getting the vegan butter on each layer. I may have spoke too soon on the beauty of this phyllo dough, but it's okay. You can kind of fudge it, and if anything's sticking together really severely like this, just go ahead and use the double layer. You don't want to saturate with the vegan butter because then you're just going to have an oily, greasy strudel when you go and take it out of the oven. So it's really just a light brushing. I think all total, I might have melted like 4 ounces of butter, and I don't even think I'm going to use that whole thing. As always, guys, the written recipe printable form is on my website at gretchensveganbakery.com. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. I do hope that you'll subscribe. I have so many awesome vegan recipes, all with video tutorials. We've got a little ASMR rocking over here. This is kind of a therapeutic dessert to make. It's like you have to have a little bit of patience. You got to have some time to layer all of these layers and brush everything. Comment below if you guys like this new style of video that I've been doing. I'm kind of getting back to old school and actually like trying to teach you guys some of the tips and tricks, because over the years, everything just sort of evolved into this super speeded up everything, and the attention span of everyone has gotten to be so short, and I was getting so many complaints on my lengthier videos that I just talk too much and my videos are too long. So I started shortening them up and just really speeding through everything, and that's not who I am. I really like to talk a lot, and I really do like to teach you guys some of the subtle little tricks that you really need to know to become the best baker that you can be. And how can I do that in a 3-minute YouTube video that's just like racing through, showing you, like, I don't know. So I really like this style. It's much more calm, and I don't know. Comment below. Let me know if you guys like this style of video too. Definitely don't want to waste any of that luscious, spicy goodness. So this is where the towel really comes in handy, because not only would this dough be sticking to the table and we don't want to put excess flour on here, but you could just sort of flip up the towel and wrap this strudel like a little baby, like you're wrapping up a little baby, ready to tuck them in for bedtime. And then you're just gonna tuck in the edges over here too, just like that. I may adjust this recipe and add in a couple more apples, because this could have had a little bit more filling so that there wasn't so much excess dough here on the ends. Like I said, I honestly haven't done this in decades, and my original recipe was for like a giant sheet pan for a catering company. So I had to sort of scale it down just by memory. Now we could just be safe and flip it over this way. I am going to give it just a little brushing of butter to seal these together. And now we have to flip it onto the sheet pan. I have to go grab a sheet pan. And the really nice thing about a dessert like this is that I can put this in the refrigerator until tomorrow night, and about 40 minutes before it's time to serve dessert, I will pop this into the oven and we will have hot, fresh, crispy, delicious cranberry apple walnut strudel with anglaise sauce. Oh, you guys, let's see the finishing of this. This is an amazing dessert. Listen to this crispy strudel. I mean, just look at that. It is so luscious. I do everything in excess, so I'm smothering this thing. Listen to that crunch. Ooh, my mouth is watering. It is perfection. Okay, you guys, you've got to make this. So head over to my website at gretchensveganbakery.com and grab the recipe. My mouth is watering. I am going to leave you now so I can be alone with my cranberry apple walnut strudel.